What's good? What's good? Welcome back, episode 4. If you didn't catch episode 3, basically what we did is we just talked post-draft highlights for our league, and we also gave you some trade targets for preseason. But we got a great episode ahead of us. We're going to do some start-sit advice for week 1 matchups. We are pumped, so let's get straight to it.
Welcome to the FantasyLand Football Podcast.
Hey, welcome. Football is back.
That's right. We back, baby. We here. Chiefs and Texans.
Chiefs and Texans, what a game.
What a game.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire looks like a fantasy superstar.
That's right.
I don't want to get too high because obviously it's week 1. You can't make decisions based off of 1 week. But man, Clyde, He looked
He's
nice.
looking clean. He was breaking tackles. He looked full of energy. He was doing his thing. He was doing what he was drafted for, So it's exciting.
That's true.
To see.
He did exactly what he was drafted to do. So Texans side of the ball, a little strange. Feels like they lack an identity right now.
Yeah.
But will be interesting to kind of follow as the season goes along. But thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday, the 11th of September. Thank you for joining us on the FantasyLand Football Podcast.
Yeah.
You can always follow us on Instagram or Twitter. Twitter is at FantasyLand_FB. You can always watch on YouTube. Subscribe if you do, and click that bell for notifications. And as always, you can listen if that's the way you prefer to taking the podcast through Spotify, Apple. Whatever you listen to podcasts on, you can find
whatever
us, honestly.
platform there's available. I'm pretty sure we're on. So
we are there.
Yeah.
If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please drop us a review. That would be so helpful. But hey, when you follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube, you get free stuff sometimes. And
sometimes
what we did is we actually did a giveaway with a free signed DJ Moore jersey from Pristine Auction. We announced it last night at halftime of Chiefs vs. Texans. Big shout out to Rayan
the winner
for winning the DJ Moore jersey.
Our first winner.
The first winner.
The first
on
winner
the show
of
ever.
The first winner of FantasyLand Football. Congratulations, Rayon. That's awesome. We're actually really excited for that. We're excited for you, and we're excited for all the other giveaways we're actually going to be giving out to all you guys.
The next one is juicy.
Yeah, it's definitely juicy. We're not going to give you the name or who this could be, but we're actually really excited for this next giveaway. One that is probably sometime very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into need to know news. This is the news that you need to know from around the league for your week 1 matchups. Mike Evans, he's got a little bit of a soft tissue injury. From what Bruce Arians says, he will be day to day and could be a game time decision on Sunday. This isn't what you want from a pick you probably got in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
This isn't really what you want. Yeah,
I'm a bit concerned about Mike. He hasn't even. They haven't had like a full. I think they had a full scrimmage. I think every team had a full scrimmage, but it's a bit scary to see what he's doing or what is going to happen with Mike. So hopefully he's okay for week 1.
Yeah. And if you got Chris Godwin, you're just cheering. There's going to be a lot of targets to go to Chris Godwin, but they're both going to do great throughout the season.
Right.
Cortland Sutton went down in practice yesterday. Sounded really, really bad at first. Like he could be out maybe the whole season or half a season. That's kind of the language we were hearing. But after an MRI, it looks like nothing is broken. Let's wait for some more news on that. But week 1 will definitely be in question.
That's right. I just want to say, sorry, Zach.
No.
For all your Jerry Judy owners, don't just plug in Jerry right away. Wait to see what happens because you can actually sell them high. That's what I was trying to do when I found out the news. So maybe you sell them high now.
There's nothing better than doing a self-promotion for your own player in
That's
like
right.
a group chat for a fantasy league. Oh, hey boys, I got Jerry Judy. Hit me up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
hit
saying?
me up. He's on the block. Let me know. Send me a text message. Maybe comment on the post, on the video, whatever.
Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a quote from Doug Peterson. It's a possibility that they might manage Miles in early season because he missed most of training camp. That's concerning language to me.
Absolutely. I'll be scared, a little bit concerned, obviously, if I'm a Miles Sanders owner. I don't know. I'm definitely still confident in starting him, but I just don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm hoping that he's going to get, maybe the 60% of the carries over who's his backup at the moment?
Boston Scott.
Yeah, over him. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, interesting story to watch as it develops. This is just a little bit of hype for you. Deontay Johnson. This is a quote from Ben Roethlisberger. We're not going to talk on this too much, but Ben Roethlisberger is quoted to have said, "I'm looking forward to get out in an actual game with him. I think the sky's the limit in terms of actual talent with that guy. He's fast, he's quick, he can get open, and he's got great hands." If you took Deontay late in a draft, you hearing that quote, whether it pays off or not, is very nice.
Yeah, you're buzzing. Shout out to Deontay. Hopefully him and Ben can have a good season this year for sure.
Definitely. On to David Montgomery. Back to full practice yesterday.
Let's go.
That's very, very encouraging. When we saw that video of that injury, we would have not guessed he would be back by now at all. Very likely he starts week 1.
Very. I'm hoping he starts. Sorry.
Jalen Reagor. You're good. Jalen Reagor. He's back already in practice and is quoted to be doing everything. I don't know. Is he actually practicing fully?
He was practicing. I saw a video. He was running down the field, catching some passes with the defender on him. I mean, it looks like he's 100%, but there's nothing saying that he's going to be starting week 1. Right. I'll definitely keep an eye out. I know he's probably available in a lot of your leagues, so definitely check to see if he's available. Maybe you can pick him up and snag him. You never know. He might be able to play him week 1 if he really wanted to.
I am still starting Deshaun Jackson week 1, regardless if he plays or not. On to some big money moves that we have heard about, both from the LA Rams. One is a done deal. Jalen Ramsey gets a contract extension, 5 years, $105 million. That's
crazy.
big money.
That's great. That's money bags for sure.
I saw on Hard Knocks he was looking at houses, and he was pretty confident he was going to get that contract. I don't think he was worried at all.
No, not at all. I was about to say, yeah, you should see. Jalen's actually, I live from the videos on Hard Knocks. He's a really great teammate. He was trying to coach Van Jefferson on his route running, which is crazy.
Yeah. Van Jefferson, interesting name to monitor. But we're not going to spend any time on that. Cooper Kupp, by the way, is the other Ram. Now, there's no deal in place, but from what has been reported, the Rams are working on an extension for Cooper Kupp. This is interesting to me for a couple reasons. The first one is the way the offense panned out last year. Yeah. There was a lot of questions going into the draft of what Cooper's value should be. And the second one is Robert Woods. Obviously, Kupp is the younger wide receiver, but I think in most drafts, Woods was taken over Cooper Kupp.
Right.
But you're not going to pay a guy big money if he's not in the game plan.
Right. I mean, hopefully he gets his deal, Hopefully he gets that money that he was asking for and hoping to get. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for that for sure.
If you got Koopy Kupp, you are a happy person right now.
Koopy Kupp?
Koopy Kupp. That's what I like to call him. My little Koopy Kupp. That's all for the Need to Know news today.
Yeah.
On to our segment for the day. Start and sit advice for week 1 matchups. What we're going to do is we are going to give you 6 key matchups. And then after those matchups, we are going to give you a speed round to cover the rest. Badaki and I will go back and forth. But hopefully, we'll be able to help you make some decisions through these key matchups and speed rounds. But Badaki, why don't you start us off? We're going to talk about these matchups, talk about relevant players. Maybe some questions that you have will be addressed. But Aki, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first match I have is Packers at Vikings. Should be a good game. It's dog fight.
Oh,
Yeah, it should
I
be
love
great.
these divisional games to start off the year. Like,
Yeah,
what a way to start off the year.
Yeah, this game is definitely gonna be either a shootout or a really, defense strong led defensive led game. But anyways, the over and under in Vegas is 45.5. I don't know. I mean, it could be on the fence. I think I might take the under. I think the defense is definitely gonna stand out here. But yeah,
if last night's game is anything to show, even though there was many points scored, many teams are going to be coming out pretty rusty.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely the under could be something that you can take. Anyways, my must start player. I'm gonna give you some must start players and questionable players throughout in this game. So obviously, my must start players is Detective Adams. This is somebody that you have to start, and Aaron Jones for sure. There's no doubt about it. And you're probably wondering, why isn't Aaron Rodgers on that list? Look, he's actually on my questionable list. Aaron Rodgers for me is probably somebody right at the moment that you're just unsure of. Obviously, they didn't draft any receivers for him. They drafted another quarterback to back him up, so he could,
How funny is that draft? Hey, we got one of the best quarterbacks in history. And we got a pretty good running back. I'm reckoning with our first two picks, we go running back, running back, quarterback. Like, what's going on in the general manager position there?
I'm not sure.
I don't get it.
But for me right now, Aaron Rodgers is somebody that I am not going to be starting with confidence. I think if he was one of my only options, let's say I would definitely be starting Aaron Rodgers over Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers over a Baker Mayfield. But that's somebody that that's kind of like why Aaron Rodgers is not really strong for me right now. And then obviously you have other questionable players, Alan Lazard, NVS, and Jamal Williams. These are guys that I'm not really starting. I'm kind of gonna see how they go. But anyways, on the other side of the ball, on the Viking side, my must starts are obviously Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen. Shout out to Dalvin Cook. I have him on my team.
I love Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, he's gonna be great. Questionable, obviously, is BC Johnson, Alexander Madison, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Jefferson. These are guys that I'm not starting at all at the moment. I'm going to kind of see how they play and go for the rest of the season. And for both of these defense, I'm actually not going to stream either of them. I think this, like I said, it can be a high-scoring game. So this team is probably – the defense is not going to be the best for you guys.
Gotcha. Man, I watched some Dalvin Cook highlights before drafts, and I was, wondering whether to take him or not. Man, he is so good at football.
He's
He's a monster.
Yeah.
On to Browns at Ravens. The over-under for the Browns at Ravens is 48.5. I feel very strongly that I'm taking the over.
Absolutely.
If Lamar Jackson is playing, I'm betting the over.
At the bank, too. Playing at the bank.
Honestly.
So you're chilling.
Like Badaki, I'm going to give you must-start players and some questionable players. Let's start on the Browns side of the ball. Nick Chubb, obviously, you're starting. Yep. OBJ, you're starting. I know last season was a weird season if you owned Odell Beckham Jr., but if you drafted him, you have to start him. That's just the reality. Don't think, should I flex someone else? Or no, OBJ should be in your starting lineup. And if you need a good flex, Kareem Hunt is an amazing flex, like a really good flex. Don't question if Kareem Hunt is a good flex. He is a great flex. You should be starting these players. Questionable players for me, Jarvis Landry. I think in your drafts, if you drafted Jarvis, you're probably in a position where you need to flex him. But let me give you an example. Jarvis Landry or Tyler Boyd. I'm probably going Tyler Boyd personally.
100%. Tyler Boyd
Jarvis
for sure.
Landry or Deshaun Jackson. Because of the matchup purely, not rest of season, I am going Deshaun Jackson. But let's say Jarvis Landry or Marvin Jones. I'm going Marvin Jones. I hope this helps you make those decisions. I mean, for the rest of the Browns, Austin Hooper, Baker Mayfield are probably the only other relevant players. I am hard passing on them on any starting lineup. Do not start them, especially against this Ravens defense. On to the Ravens side of the ball, you're obviously starting Lamar Jackson. That's not a question.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram. There are people who, for some reason, are questioning whether they should start him or not. We've had a couple DMs. Don't question starting Mark Ingram. Start Mark Ingram in this running offense. You got to start the guy. And Mark Andrews. Obviously, you're starting Mark Andrews. There's no questions there. This is an interesting one, though. Hollywood Brown. Badaki and I see this situation very differently.
Yeah.
For me, I would prefer to wait with Hollywood because I just don't like the volume that I think he's going to see.
And for me, honestly, I'm starting Hollywood with confidence. I'm going in Hollywood right now as my number 2 receiver on my team. And I get it. You know, like you don't know what he's going to be doing. This is a run offense first type team.
Yeah.
So, you're probably skeptical about Hollywood. I'm all sold on Hollywood. He didn't gain 20 pounds for nothing. Hollywood is my guy for sure.
I gained 20 pounds as well in isolation, by the way. So
I'm trying to lose 20 pounds.
Questionable. I mean, the only other questionable player on the Ravens, I feel, is J.K. Dobbins. And please don't start him yet. Wait and see approach with J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
As far as the defenses in this matchup for the Browns, you are absolutely not starting the Browns defense. We don't need to talk about it. Don't question it. You're not starting the Browns defense. For the Ravens, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable starting them. And I feel like if you drafted the Ravens, you might have used a little bit of draft capital in an earlier round for them. So you kind of need to start them anyway. But for me, I'm starting the Ravens defense.
Awesome. And I mean, yeah, if I had the Ravens defense, I'm definitely starting him. And I know some people maybe could have reached for those guys. But on to the next one. Seahawks at Falcons. Over under 49. I'm definitely taking the over for this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna be slinging it back and forth. On the Seahawks side of the ball, I'm doing my must starts are definitely Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Chris Carson. It looks like their whole team is a must start right now.
I was gonna say so. I mean, yeah. I agree with you, but those 4 players are locks, right?
Yeah, 100%. These are guys that if I have them on my team, I'm starting for sure.
Gotcha.
And my questionable players are Carlos Hyde. Everyone obviously has heard all the hype around Carlos. Right. We heard about Pete Carroll giving praise to Carlos and how they're going to use him. We don't know right now. So don't go in starting Carlos Hyde because of all this talk. Carlos Hyde, do not start. On the other side of the ball, obviously, Matty Ice, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley. These are your guys that you're starting on that side. And look, you're probably wondering why didn't I put Todd Gurley on that list?
Interesting.
Yeah, you just don't know. Right now, Todd Gurley, is he 100%? You know, he had that knee issue out in LA at the time. Look, I think for me, it's more a wait and see type of player, kind of see how he's going to do.
You're not starting Todd Gurley if you have him on your team?
I'm starting... If I have him on my team, I'm starting him. But if I had other options, like a David Johnson, I would have started David Johnson over him. Obviously, he did well. A Le'Veon Bell, I'm starting Le'Veon Bell over Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley, if you have him, he's a must start. But if you have other options, I would personally be starting these guys over him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then defenses, I'm not streaming either. Like I said, I think they're going to be slinging the ball. It's going to be a high-scoring game. So I wouldn't be starting any of these defenses.
I can't wait for this matchup. There's so many fantasy-relevant players. And I feel like when I look at Russell Wilson, I'm like, wow, this is a great matchup. But then I look at Matt Ryan, I'm like, this is a great matchup.
Yeah, it's actually so good. I don't have... I have Chris Carson in one of my leagues, and I think I have Matt Ryan in one of my leagues as well. But we'll see what happens.
It's going to be a fun game to watch, that's for sure.
For sure.
Probably the game of the week, though, regardless of who you're a fan of, I feel like the game of the week has to be Bucks at Saints.
Yeah.
The new look Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady, the GOAT, and the Saints, obviously, with that high-flying offense. Man, this is going to be a fun game to watch.
It's going to be crazy.
Over-under is at 48. I'm actually taking the under for me.
Oh.
And the reason is because of the Bucks. I think there is a chance they come out struggling because of how this offseason has looked.
Right.
I mean, we saw the Texans struggle out of the gate. So, but your must starts on the Bucks. It's pretty obvious. If Mike Evans is healthy, you are starting him. Chris Godwin, you are starting. That's it. You just don't question it. You put these players in your lineup and you lock it. For me, Brady is a start as well. Unless he's your second quarterback and you just picked him up as a depth piece. I'm starting Tom Brady, and if he is my quarterback one, and I'm not questioning it. Questionable players for me. Yeah, go ahead.
Right before you go, so Tom Brady, you'll be starting a Tom Brady over somebody like, maybe a Baker Mayfield.
Oh, definitely, without a question.
I'm trying to think of other people that maybe you can start Tom Brady over. I'm just not. I guess I'm just not confident in Tom.
I'll give you a good one. Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford. I will be starting Matthew Stafford.
Oh,
I hope
sure. Okay,
that helps.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I would take Matthew Stafford. I know people just love Tom because he's a GOAT, but
yeah, I mean, hey, the dude could come out slinging, and I don't know. It's gonna be fun again to watch, but. Questionable players on the Bucks. The only player I am okay with starting is Ronald Jones on this list.
Right.
But the other players would be Leonard Fournette, Gronkowski, and OJ Howard. I do not want to start Fournette, Gronkowski, or Howard on my teams. I want to wait and see what they look like in this offense personally. And I am personally not a hater of Gronk. I just don't see the big season for him.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose between Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette, start Ronald Jones. Okay. He's obviously been there at camp longer. He's had, the opportunity to learn this offense. I feel like you have to trust what Bruce Arians says, that he is the guy for now. That obviously could change, but start Ronald Jones. I think it's going to change. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. On to the other side of the ball, the Saints, man. Most of their key players are must starts. You're starting Drew Brees, you're starting Michael Thomas, you're starting Alvin Kamara, and you're starting Jared Cook. Those are your no questions. We don't need to talk about it. You are starting these players if you have them. I'm going to move on to questionable players. Emmanuel Sanders. I know this is kind of an exciting name, especially in this offense. For me, you do not start Emmanuel Sanders under any circumstances.
No.
This week. The same can be said for Traquan Smith or Latavius Murray. These are you just don't start them. If you're thinking about it, Alvin Kamara's contract situation, no. You don't start Latavius, not unless Alvin gets hurt. He's not going to have a big enough role. These are players that you are taking a wait and see approach. And then for the defenses, for both of these teams, I don't feel comfortable streaming either, to be honest. I think if you have the Saints, you might have to start them because I don't think there might be many better options out there to stream. But I would prefer not to have to put myself in that position to start the Saints this week. Yeah. But yeah.
All right. I personally like the Bucks. I think the Bucks defense, they're my sleeper this year to be like a really great defense, but I don't know. I think maybe Tom is there to just change the atmosphere there, and they're gonna love it. But who knows? Anyways,
Bold
next
pick.
game. Cowboys at Rams. This is Sunday Night Football. This is going to be an absolute beautiful game in the new stadium. SoFi Stadium. The over-under is 45.5. I'm taking the over for sure. I think this is going to be a crazy, crazy game.
Dude.
First Sunday night game.
Watching Hard Knocks, can you imagine building $1 billion stadium and not having any fans in it for the first year?
Not one fan in there. Look, unlucky for the Rams. Great investment. Unlucky. Anyways, must start player on the Cowboys side of the ball. Obviously, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and my boy Zeke. These are your must start guys.
Yeah.
And my questionable players would have to be CeeDee Lamb. I know everyone's excited for the rookie. Let him sit, see how he goes. And then my sleeper, not sleeper, but obviously it is my sleeper. Everyone's been talking about it. If you're in the fantasy world, listening to other people, Blake Jarwin has been the sleeper for everyone.
Right.
Everyone is starting him. But I think for me, he is going to be sitting on my bench for week 1. I want to see how he performs. I want to see what he's going to do, how they're going to be using him in that offense. But look, keep Blake on your bench. If you don't have somebody else, start Blake. But yeah, this is somebody that I'm having a really, really close eye on because Blake Jarwin could be a top 10 tight end this year.
Yeah, if you listen to the last pod, he was one of our trade targets as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I picked him off the waivers, by the way. I won that. So we both had waivers in apparently, and I got Blake Jarwin on the low. But anyways, other side of the ball, the Rams must start. Obviously, Cooper Kupp, Roberto Woods, and Tyler Higbee.
Say it again.
Roberto Woods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta love it. And Tyler Higbee, obviously. And then look, for me, I love Cam Akers. I think Cam Akers can really come out and be something. Look, I know there's all talks that there's gonna be running back by committee, but I think he's gonna carry the majority of the load. I'm personally starting him. I would definitely recommend.
You're starting him week 1.
I would personally start him week 1. I would if you have other options. If you had Todd Gurley, I would start Todd Gurley over Cam Akers.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna come out. I think he has really a lot of potential, and he's gonna be getting the ball. The Rams wouldn't waste a second round pick on him.
No, you're right. No, they wouldn't. And I think that the Cowboys is a good defense to give it a go against.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Questionable plays for me, obviously Darnell Henderson. He was full at practice today, so we'll see how he goes. Gerald Everett, and then Van Jefferson. Keep an eye out for Van Jefferson. Like Zach said earlier, he's a guy that you want to keep an eye on. But these are my not starts. Those are my guys. Right. And obviously the defense, I'm not starting either. Like I said, it's going to be a high scoring game. So yeah, I wouldn't be grabbing any defenses.
Gotcha. On to the Cardinals at 49ers. Man, there's so many games that are just so exciting because it's new people. I feel like the NFL went full NBA free agency this year.
Yeah, everyone went everywhere.
Yeah. Over under is 48. I'm pretty comfortable taking the over here. Yeah. Obviously, your must-start players for the Cardinals, Kenyon Drake, he's healthy. D-Hop, he's healthy again, ready to go. Kyler Murray, I think this might be questionable. I am not upset if you are going to start a streamer instead of Kyler Murray this week.
Ooh.
That doesn't upset me.
Interesting.
I think it's a hard matchup to come to the 49ers. There's no fans, but that defense is that's a tough defense to start your year against. So you're probably going to have to start him with that draft capital, but I would not be upset if you started Phillip Rivers, for example, against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
So yeah, something to think about. My questionable players, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitz, and Chase Edmonds. I'm not starting any of these guys. Maybe if you're in like a 14-man league, you might consider starting Kirk.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a wait-and-see approach for me. On to the 49ers side of the ball. You're only starting 2 players from the 49ers. That's it. You're starting George Kittle and Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, that's really easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Questionable players, please do not start Jimmy Garoppolo just because you like the 49ers.
Tommy.
This is not Tommy. Shout out Tommy. This is not the only reason you would start him is if you're playing with your heart, and just don't do that.
No.
And there's no one else on this team that I'd be comfortable starting other than the 49ers defense. I know the Cardinals look like a really good offense. But again, if you got the 49ers defense, you spent high draft capital, probably 10th to 13th round on them instead of the late rounds or, last 2 rounds. You're going to have to start them. So that is our week 1 start, sit advice for the week 1 matchups. These are the key matchups that we saw throughout the week that you would need to have some in-depth details. But obviously, we missed a couple matchups.
Yep.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to give you a speed round through the rest of these matchups for week 1. 30 seconds will be on the clock. Me and Badaki are going to go back and forth. And if you don't hear a name on one of these teams, they're not relevant to us. Okay? So Badaki, start us off. 30 seconds on the clock. Go.
Awesome. First game, Jets at Bills. On the Bills side of the ball, I'm definitely starting Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Devin Singletary. I think Devin Singletary is going to get the majority of the load there. And on the Jets side of the ball, has to be Le'Veon Bell, Jamison Crowder. But I'm also going to be keeping an eye out for Chris Herndon. We're going to take a wait and see approach. We like to call it wait and see. I think he's going to be performing, but more later on down the road. So, yeah.
On to Eagles at Washington. These are who you are starting from the Eagles. Carson Wentz, Ertz, Deshaun Jackson is a great flex play this week. And you are 100% starting the Eagles defense. A must start this week. For Washington side of the ball, super easy. McLaurin is the only lock-in starter for you. I know we all love Gibson. I have Gibson in a lot of leagues. I am comfortable starting him at a flex if you don't have a better option. Otherwise, I'm taking a wait-and-see approach.
Awesome. Dolphins at Patriots. Dolphins side of the ball, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. And I'm also taking the wait-and-see approach for Preston Williams. I think he can be a great wide receiver too. So definitely hold on to him if you have him. And on the Patriots side of the ball, James White, obviously Damian Harris is hurt right now. So I think he can be somebody you can plug in right now. Julian Edelman. And then if you need a quarterback, I think you can stream Cam Newton. I think he's going to be a great option for you guys. And also the defense. I think this is a great matchup for the defense as well. So grab the defense if you can or if you like.
Yep. On to Colts at Jags. For the Colts, you are starting T.Y. Hilton. It was reported today that Marlon Mack is the guy. So you are 100% starting him until they show you something otherwise. Jonathan Taylor, hopefully you don't have to be in a position where you need to start him. You are starting the Colts defense against this terrible Jags team. And like I said, if you need a good streamer at quarterback this week, Phillip Rivers is a sneaky good start. On the Jags side of the ball, DJ Chark is the only guaranteed starter for me. If you need a flex play, I like Chris Thompson. I'm okay with it. I would actually play Chris Thompson over Jonathan Taylor this week. I hope that helps you, but that's how I see that matchup. Sick.
Bears at Lions. For me, on the Bears side of the ball, obviously Allen Robinson, the top receiver there. And then Dave Montgomery. Right now, it looks like Montgomery could be good to go. So he could be a game-time decision still, but keep an eye out on for that. And on the Lions side, Matthew Stafford, Kenny Golladay. And if you need a flex, I would say Marvin Jones and DeAndre Swift. I think DeAndre Swift, it could be good. I know they just got AP, but I still think AP needs time to develop there. So if you need a flex, DeAndre Swift.
On to the Raiders at Panthers. This is super easy. You are only starting 4 people from this game. And only 4 people. That's it. No one else. Don't even consider it. You're starting Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller on the Raiders side, and Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore on the Panthers side. You are not starting any other player.
Straightforward, right to the point. Chargers at Bengals. On the Chargers side of the ball, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and Hunter Henry are your guys. And on the Bengals side of the ball, Tyler Boyd, Joe Maine, Moneybag Mixon, Adriel, Jeremiah Green. These are guys you're going to start. Obviously, everyone's excited about AJ Green, but also that I know all these fans out there are Joe Burrow fans, and look, we're excited. We know that he's going to come out. He's a great talent, but just wait and see. Wait and see what he does week 1 and go from there.
That was our speed round for the rest of the week 1 matchups. Hey, if we missed something and you have a question about it, DM us on Instagram. We have probably replied to 50 to 100 DMs this week alone for start sit advice, and we're always happy to chat. Of course, there are 2 more games that we didn't talk about because we're going to give you a quick pod on Monday for Monday Night Football. Super quick pod, 5 to 10 minutes, and we're just going to quickly talk about Steelers at Giants and Titans at Broncos.
Oh boy.
So look for that quick pod on Monday. Monday Night Football Madness, it's back.
That's right. New York Football Giants, we're here. I'm believing for a great start for Saquon, Sterling, Darius Slay, Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's definitely going to be a fun Monday night, that's for sure.
Yep, double header.
But hey, thanks so much for joining us for this episode. Big congrats again to Ryan for winning the DJ Moore giveaway.
Sick.
We are going to be doing these giveaways monthly. I am super excited about the next one, to be honest. Like, it's a big name.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. The giveaway, I wish we could do it now, but that just wouldn't be smart.
Trust me, you'll see it soon. That's for sure. But hey, if you're listening, we just want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much for listening to us. We just started this podcast this year, but Badaki and I are super passionate about fantasy football. We love talking about it. We've loved talking to people on DMs and people talking about the podcast. We're actually, super honored that you would listen. So we are absolutely committed to bringing you year-long content. So thank you so much for that. It's the best time of the year.
That's right. Best time of the year. They say your birthday is great. No. They say Christmas is great. No.
Nah.
No. It's
football. Yeah, it is. But
it's a good time. You get to spend time with family. You get gifts on your birthday, but you can't watch a football game. Like you can't be given a football game. I mean, you can get tickets to a football game.
You know what? Thanksgiving could be the best time of the year because there is Thanksgiving and football.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, you get food and football.
Hey,
and the day.
The best time of the year is coming up.
Yeah, best time of the year is coming up. A couple weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. Look, like Zach said, we are really excited for all your messages and the support. Thank you just for listening and following. Continue to message us and go from there.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. FantasyLand Football. Of course, you can always listen on Spotify or Apple Pods. If you're listening on Apple Pods, please drop a review. And as always, you can watch on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any episodes. Speaking of, our next episode, like we said, is going to be a quick pod, a 5 to 10 minute pod to talk about Monday Night Football madness. Badaki, man, this is fun. I'm glad we get to do this.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for the next pod because that means the next time I'm talking to you, it's hours before the kickoff of the Giants game. So
that's right.
We're excited and we just can't wait to do it again.
And as always, we'll see you there.
See you there.
Hey, yeah, you, the one listening to this podcast, you made a good decision today. Keep making those good decisions. You know what? Go ahead and do a little dance right now, like no one's watching. 'Cause you deserve it.